إلهي يا متعالي ارحم حالي.
We have failed to see our Lord in His creation. We have failed to see our Lord in this extraordinary theater of manifestation that He has given us to come to know Him in the short time that we tarry here. Muslims are a theocentric civilization. Our lives are meant to revolve around God. We are becoming like other previous civilizations, a narcissistic civilization, a civilization that revolves around me. This is the child civilization. This is the age of the child. We're living in the age of the infant. But this is a tyrannical infant. It's not, because we look at children, we have, in English we talk about, I don't know if you have this distinction in the Malay language, but in English we talk about childlike and childish. Childlike is a very positive quality, but childish is a very negative quality, because a child has an innocence that we all recognize because it has yet to be tainted by the world. It's a sinless being. But the childish nature is the tyrannical nature of the self. This is nafs al-ammara. This is the nafs, this is the ego that does not share. This is the ego that sees that it is the only thing in existence and everything is peripheral to its own existence. This is what the child needs to be educated out of. This is the essence of education, is to draw the true nature, the true innocence of the child, the bara'at al-asliyah of the child into existence. And this is done in our tradition. We have no word that corresponds to the word education. There is no word in the history of Islam that corresponds to the English word education. We have two concepts that are always kept together: tarbiyah with ta'lim. The idea of nurturing and the idea of educating. In other words, you cannot separate the nurturing process from the process of education. And this is why they went together. The murabbi, the mu'addib, the mu'allim went together. The teacher was a spiritual mentor as well as being an intellectual mentor. You cannot separate the spirit from the intellect, because the intellect in and of itself is a spiritual phenomenon. It is not a material phenomenon. Consciousness is spiritual. The very center of the human being, this core that Allah calls the lub, ulul albab, is a immaterial reality. It is a spiritual reality. And so the murabbi was the one who took you by degrees, who brought you out of yourself. And this is why madrasa in Arabic means the place of effacement. It's the place where the negative qualities are effaced and the positive qualities are inculcated. They called the first stage of education takhliya, the emptying out of the self. And the second stage was tahliya, the adorning of the self with those beautiful qualities. What the ancients called truth, goodness, and beauty. What we call Iman, Islam, and Ihsan. Iman is our truth. There is no God but Allah. Islam is the way that we behave with goodness in the world. And Ihsan is the profound need for the human being to make things beautiful and also to recognize beauty. And this is the human condition. But if you look at the current world today, everywhere you look, there are two powers ruling. There is the irascible power and the concupiscent power. There is the dog soul. This is what Imam al-Ghazali called the dog soul and the pig soul. These are the two powers that are reigning. The people that are consuming and not recognizing that their consumption is killing them, and then the people that are effecting their rage on the world. Literally going out and with rage in the world. The warmongers.